There is something I admire in real men of God. When you have the cherished opportunity of meeting a real man of God, there is one common trait in them. And let me start by saying it is not the ability to do miracles, because the magicians of Egypt did that too. It is not the oratory, it is not the ability to preach, because motivational speakers can do a good job of preaching. And it is not casting out demons, because every Christian should be able to do that. So what is it? It's an undescribable aroma to real men of God. A tight mixture, in my own words, of love and humility, patience and peace. So tightly mixed together, which these men wear as a cloak upon them. It is outer tranquility that you almost can touch, pointing to an inner peace. I've seen it in some people and I admire it. I've wondered, how do you get here? When you see it in some people, you understand what Jesus meant when he said, he referred to some things as real riches. You know, when he was talking, anybody who is not faithful in non-deceitful mammon, who will give you real wealth. When you see what I'm talking about in people, you will understand what real wealth is. It is beyond being a millionaire. It is beyond having all things. It is having peace. And you know, when you look at these people, what I'm describing becomes a bit more beautiful at times of crisis and times of challenges, when they still maintain that tranquility in the midst of challenges. I will tell you a story. I was with a very old servant of God, a woman of about 80, on a crusade ground, when somebody came to tell me that something quite challenging happened. And it was my unwelcome duty to tell her. There she was, ministering to people, laying hands and doing stuff, and I had to tell her that she lost something quite expensive, something quite important. It was just stolen. And I walk towards her with trepidation in my heart. How do I share this? So I bent my heart a bit and I said a quiet prayer. And I went to her and I said, hey, this is what happened. She looked at me and then she smiled. And after smiling, she jumped for a couple of times, raised her hand and said, praise ye the Lord. And so I said, hallelujah, watching. What is this, a way of reacting to trauma? Should I call some people so we hold her? But in a few minutes I realized she was not faking anything. She was at peace, complete, total peace. So I went to her, I said, what shall we do? Then she said, don't worry about that, we've got work to do here. Maybe you redeem me, understanding that I can't understand where her tranquility was coming from, where the peace was coming from. She looked at me again and she said, Wole, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. And in that phrase, she answered all my questions. She's seen worse. She put her motherly hand on my shoulder and she said to me, God again will show forth. So she went back doing her stuff, ministering to people, and just like she prophesied, God showed forth. The thing was resolved without any crisis. And I wonder, where did she get it from? But over the while, as I read the Bible and understand it more, I think our text for today is important to what I saw that day. James 1, verses 2 to 4, like we already said, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. Who counts a trial joy? How can you be in a challenging situation and count it joy? How can you have a trying conflict and call it joy? How can you have lacks and needs and call them joy? How can you have people misunderstanding you and call it joy? How can you be slandered, slighted, cheated and call it joy? How can you have Satan working overtime to make life terrible for you and call it joy? Because you know there's a bigger picture. It takes a while to see the bigger picture, but when you see it, probably you won't be as worried as you are. Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest." But then he spoke of another rest when he said, "Take my yoke upon you." The first rest comes automatically. The second one you have to work for. So I realized that what I saw in this woman of God, who I love so much and respect, did not take a day. It's not a sprint, it's not a dash, it's a marathon. It's a marathon of events. As stuff happens, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And if you have the right attitude, you get better. I don't want you to forget the bigger picture. The picture here is that we are going to be like Jesus. Christianity is not just about making money, building houses, having children, marrying wives. No, it's about becoming like Jesus. That is the picture. And everything therefore works towards the attainment of that big picture. When you finish life and you see him, you better look like him. Because nobody is going to stay with him who do not look like him. And so God is organizing everything that is happening around us. The ones that he allows, the ones that can bring, everything people toss at you, all of them are supposed to make you more Christ-like. If you have the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, you may miss out. And that makes it doubly painful. A painful trial that does not attain its purpose is doubly painful. If God allows something, trial, something conflict, something painful to happen, it's best we learn from it. This woman said, "I've seen worse." I look at her, admiring her. It was like a cloak of peace. She was wearing, beyond her clothing, a cloak of peace. The smile was sincere. The joy was infectious. And something so bad just happened. Where did she get it from? From the past trials and right attitude. Oh, I pity people who allow such things to go and don't learn from it. Because I wonder if you've ever wondered why some things happen in repeated cycle. Why is it that you go to so-so place and people hate on you, and you go to so-so place and people hate on you again, and you go to another place and people hate on you? Why are people hating on you wherever you go? It's because there's something in you that only hate from men can remove. And if you don't like it to go, you can travel from Australia to anywhere. You will still meet with people there, human beings, who will poke the same thing at you until you yield that area of your humanity that should go for Christ to manifest. I've gone round circles before because I've had wrong attitude to trials. But now I'm learning. I now know what this scripture says. Count it joy. Count it joy. Another man of God said to me that when you're passing through such trying situations and challenges, say to God, "Dear Lord, I'm happy that you find me worthy of this that I'm going through." Who prays like that? Only people who do indeed trust the Lord, who knows there's a bigger picture, something ahead. I'm learning my theology of bigger picture. I'm learning to know that everything worketh for good. I'm beginning to understand that there's nothing any human being can poke at me that does not have its redemptive values. I will repeat myself. There's nothing anybody can do to me that does not have its redemptive value. And it is my duty to look for the redemptive value in whatever they are doing. When they are good, it has its redemptive value. When they are bad, there's the redemptive value. Nothing truly is bad, because God is forming his son on the inside of me. If I have this attitude, then there's no reason for anger. From that time, the incident I shared with you happened some 5 years ago, or slightly more, maybe 6. And since then to now, a lot of things happened in me. I don't get as angry as I used to be anymore. I don't talk back like I used to do anymore. I'm growing older. I'm realizing that it's good. It's good that somebody just come poke fun at me. It's good. It's actually joyful. Not good because of what they do, but good because of what it does in me. That fun they poke at me, the jeering, the jibing, the misuse, the abuse, all of them are deleting things that I really don't need, and they are forming Jesus in me slowly, so that I'm better each day. So I'm welcoming the next. I look at that woman when she said, "I've seen worse," and hopping very happily towards her duty. She went. I look at her, and I can almost hear her say, "Lucifer, what next?" You done this, and so what next? She sees every challenge, she sees every conflict as another opportunity for God to show himself as strong, as he always is. And when you look at life like that, isn't it exciting? That those who are coming to hate, those who are coming to jab, those who are coming to trust, those who are coming to do all forms of things to you, will meet you the same. The same God-trusting individual who knows that beyond it is another source of glory to God. Oh, when they've done their worst and we've gone through it, we'll discover tranquility on the other side of whatever they push against us. That is how Christians live. That is how to discover real wealth. I do admire it in people. Not many people have it. I'm beginning to trust God for such a garment on myself. That aroma of peace. The ability to look at what people scatter people and smile. The ability to look at a Goliath in all of his height and all of his might and all of his armor and his armor bearer and the size of his spear. And you look at him, he represents a challenge, but you see victory. Because you know God who was there will be here and beyond. That is how to live. So welcome it. I don't say don't go anywhere looking for trouble. But when trouble chooses to come, look at it like that. Beyond the trouble is peace. Whatever it is. Beyond Corona, we're going to have testimonies. I'm telling you that those who truly trust God in this season will have testimonies of plenty. When others are talking famine, things were tough, they will be saying, I grew. I became better. I got to know God more. Because this scripture says, if we mature by our trials, we will lack nothing. I love that part of it. Maybe we should read that part of it so you will like it. He said, let patience have his perfect work. Because when perseverance and patience have worked on you, you will be perfect and complete. Then he finished with this phrase I love. He said, lacking nothing. Oh, it is good to lack nothing. And he's saying to us, we need to go through all those trials. Jesus himself passed through it. I don't know how he felt when they laid him on that wood and they put nails to the hand of my king and they were hammering down. How can you look at somebody nailing your hands to wood and love them? How do you do that? Because you can see the bigger picture. How, when they raised it, he said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. How can you pray like that? If you do not have the kind of peace my Lord possesses, you're going to call down thunder and you're going to kill the people you came to save. Well, he saw the bigger picture. Beyond the cross is resurrection. And I want you to just have that as a phrase. Say it to yourself whenever there's conflict. Beyond the cross is resurrection. Don't forget it. Put it in your pocket wherever you're going. Beyond the cross is resurrection. Say it. Say it to yourself. Say it until your inner man begin to believe it, that there's a cross. But when you go through that cross, on the other side of the cross is resurrection, is life, is peace, is that aroma that I covet. And I hope you covet too. When you see a man of God, don't judge him by his arrogance. Anybody can be arrogant. Don't measure him by the kind of people that flock around him. Somebody carries Bible, somebody carries shoe, somebody carries hat. Some are even being carried by people. That's not how to measure a man of God. Don't measure him by the size of car that he brings in, that long car and 2 gorillas all around him for protection. That's not the man. Don't measure him by how much they say he has in the bank account or the size of his congregation. Measure him by peace, by humility, by the love of God. Measure him by patience. All that which you will see like a cloak upon him, an aroma of the heavens, the presence of God in the life of a man. I wish you growth. I wish you maturity. I wish you patience and peace. I wish you perfection, beyond which, according to the scriptures, you will lack nothing. Shall we pray together?